Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. The Death card. Okay, this is a card of transformation. This is not an evil card. I know it looks scary, and it's meant to be scary. It's meant to get your attention. That's why they call it the Death card, rather than growth or rebirth or transformation or something like this, or they call it the letting go card, or they call it the change card, right? That doesn't grip you like death does. But this is the card of change. This is the nature of nature. This is the fundamental force of the universe. Things will not stay the same no matter how hard you try. We may not want things to progress. We may not want things to change. We may not want things to end. Things must end for new things to begin. Okay? We can try to slow down the process of change. We can't stop it. We certainly can't rewind time. Okay? And I think you're somebody that knows that. This is your kind of station. This is your subjective experience of life. Change has been constant. It's been slow, but it's been there the whole time. Okay, I think you're somebody that is seeing things around them slowly change. You're changing slowly over time. You know, I look at pictures of myself from 20, 30, 45 years ago, and I look very different than I do now, you know? And so does my life. So do the things around me. So do those parts of me that aren't visible. Yeah. So is our soul. Our aura has changed. We're constantly evolving and growing into who we're meant to become. Now, the idea with this card is that sometimes we feel like life has happened to me. Right? That we are on this river of change and we have no control. We have no way to steer. We've got no rudder. We've got no oars. It's just kind of, I'm at the mercy of the current. What this card invites us to do, though, is to be a co-creator of our lives. We can nudge the river a little bit through our choices, right? Through our intentional acts of will, through our magic. So all the magician does, try to nudge the river a little bit. Yeah, and we are all magic makers. So how are you nudging this river of change over the longer, larger arc of your life? Well, let's put this card into a little bit of context, Pisces. We've got a Prince of Pentacles. Got the Wheel of Fortune. We have an Eight of Swords. There's the Five of Wands. I knew we'd get some fire energy in the path of the dove. And I like that it's perfectly balancing the Wheel of Fortune. Because the Wheel of Fortune this is what happens in life that's outside of your control. This is you reaching out with your five-fingered hand to control whatever you can control. You're working in tandem with fate, with fortune, with destiny. You are a co-creator. You are a magic maker. Okay? And we have the Five of Swords. We have a Six of Cups. We have a Two of Pentacles, we have a Three of Cups, and a Seven of Pentacles. Okay, I think that you're doing a bit of a course correction here. I think that a rare portal is opening up for you. I think that Spirit is giving you a little bit of an opportunity here to seriously change the course of your river. Okay, because the Death card's slow and steady change over the course of time, right? You have an opportunity now that if you were to grab the wheel, you can change the course and probably get to something much better, much quicker. Yeah. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. Got an Ace of Swords as a volunteer. We're going to just slowly pick one random card. One factor, infinite and unknown. We're going to set our little sea turtle friend right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, really the two major arcana cards we have, the only two, the Death card and the Fortune card. Okay? Death, that realization that life is happening, man, whether we like it or not, that things are progressing, that really every moment is a moment to be reborn. Every moment is a new opportunity. All we have is the present moment. That life is always this flow from future to past. Okay? And it's going to continue to go that way, and we're right there in the middle of it, doing the very best that we can. Okay? The Wheel of Fortune, of course, being the divine timing. That these are the things that happen that we cannot control. We can't control what Spirit sends our way, but we can control how we interact with life. And thereby we nudge the river. Okay? The universe nudges us and we're sort of nudging back. Yeah. So you got fire, you got water and water, you've got a couple of air cards, and you've got a couple of earth cards. Okay? Spirit's giving you the chance now to make a course correction so that you're not steering into this briar patch. Spirit's kind of saying that, look, there is a failure up ahead. There is a calamity up ahead, and it's time for you to make some change of course. Okay? With that Five of Swords. What is the builder energy here? The Prince of Pentacles. This is you. Steady as she goes. This is kind of a cruise control. All the princes are really of the tarot. This is kind of like focusing on right now, here today, and kind of feeling like the course is slow and steady. And, you know, when that happens, it's almost like a highway hypnosis, you know? We just sort of start to kind of get a little sleepy. We're not really paying attention. So we've been building something, and the Prince of Pentacles is continuing on the same course. It's like we've set the navigation, put it on autopilot, and we're just kind of like hands off. We're just kind of, we got our feet up on the, I don't know, whatever they call it in the, you know, in the cabin there, in the sort of wheelhouse. You got your feet up on the console, and not really paying attention because we feel like it's just going to be more of the same. You know, that nothing much is really changing on the day-to-day, so it's kind of steady as she goes. But I think what Spirit is kind of saying is, look, there is an energy portal here for you. You've got to take the wheel and, you know, open your eyes, and you've got to steer out of the way. Okay? This is a little bit too familiar. Yeah. A little bit too like, I know what to expect, and it's, you know, it's just going to be whatever. I've been on this road a million times, and nothing ever happens. As soon as you start thinking that way, something's going to happen, you know? We have to be careful that we're not trying to stir up things just because we're bored. You know, the shadow side of the Five of Wands, right? That we're not trying to just pick a fight to stir up drama because we don't want to be bored. Yeah. I think that we have to realize that this is a opportunity, if you use your fives correctly. It's an opportunity to steer clear of some bad waters and instead sail into some really good seas. Okay. The builder energy, the fixed The fixed earth energy is basically saying that you're continuing to do the exact same thing that you've always done because the course is slow and steady. Okay? I think that maybe things are picking up, or there is a fork in the road that you're approaching that you're going to need to nudge. This is a moment where you can nudge the river, because this is saying we're just kind of holding the ship steady, and that's about it. You know, it's kind of like somebody that, you know, the conductor of a train, right? Just kind of, you know, speeding up, slowing down, but not really choosing the course, because you're on the tracks, obviously, right? And so that's just kind of like, it's kind of boring. It's really not much for me to do. I'm just here to kind of, you know, just because they need a body present, right? But no, Spirit is saying that, look, there's a very important crossroads happening, a very important fork in the road, and you need to take the correct one. Okay? So there's a little bit of a redirect happening. You have an opportunity to nudge the river in a better direction. Spirit's going to put the right people, places, and things on your path when and where you need them. But if you're not paying attention, you're going to sail right by all of this. Okay? So the divine timing is here. And I feel like this is why you're on board. This is why you've been hired to sort of babysit the train for moments like this, where you need to really perform. You need to do what you're good at doing. You need to take the wheel and say, okay, here we go. Okay. This is the card of that divine time. This is Spirit's wristwatch. This is the cosmic timepiece. Yeah. And Spirit doesn't need our approval, doesn't even really need our participation. Basically saying, this is what's happening. You're either here or you're not. You either step up and grab the wheel and make this move, or you don't. Okay. We don't want to let the opportunity go by. And it could be that you're so used to seeing things, the same things out the window, that you just stop looking out the window. The landscape has been the same for a long time. Now that it's changing, now you have to pay more attention. Now you realize, oh, okay, kind of this isn't the same as it was yesterday. That something else is developing. Okay, so I feel like you're going through kind of an energy portal, where you're not on the expected track anymore. Okay, looking back in the background with your Eight of Swords, that's an overthinking, overanalyzing kind of energy. Yeah, and to me it feels like you need to follow your intuition. You need to trust the gentle nudges that you feel. The Ace of Swords is clarity, but the Eight of Swords is clouding that clarity. Okay, it's your inability to hear the intuition. It's an inability to hone in on the signal, because there's too much noise in the line. Okay. And I think that there have been moments in the past, there have been opportunities that you've missed in the past. I don't think you're going to miss this one. Okay. This is really the clarity. We need to pay attention. This is a vigilance. This is an alertness. Okay. This is somebody who can turn down the noise in the mind. It's like you got to turn off the radio, because there's an important message coming in over the CB or over the intercom. You know, the Spirit is sending a message to you saying, "Hey, you know, this is like the telegraph, the kind of Morse code that's coming in, beep 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 beep, beep. And it's coming in, but you can't hear it because you're just kind of like you're overthinking, you're distracted, you got the noise in your head, you got the radio playing, or we've just let the hum of life sort of you know, lull us into a little bit of a less alert state." Okay. You're being told to really take control of what's happening next. If this is an opportunity to travel or learn something or to love again, right? The world is open to you, and you're being told to make a choice, to grab the wheel, to make up your mind, and to nudge the river, to change course a little bit if you wish. You don't have to. You can keep doing what you've been doing, and that's fine. But we at least want to be aware that there's that opportunity here. Otherwise, if we're just kind of half asleep, our eyes are kind of half closed, we're not going to know. The opportunity is going to pass us right by. That this Morse code message is coming in, but we're not listening. Okay? And so that Eight of Swords is a background noise. Okay? And in that background noise is this message. Now, maybe you've been getting more messages in dreams, or there's, Spirit's been sending synchronicities to you, and I feel like there's part of you that is just kind of like either not hearing it, or you're choosing not to hear it, or you're just kind of ignoring it, or you're not trusting in the message, or something like that. Okay? The five-fingered hand up here at the top, right? Five of Wands. This is you reaching out and grabbing the wheel, taking advantage of that opportunity. As something's like floating by, you're not going to let it get away. Seizing the day, this card, okay? Seizing the day. And believing that you're allowed to do that. This is a little bit of power. This is a Saturn in Leo energy. It is basically Spirit saying, look, you're allowed to change course right now. That you're allowed to reach out and make a move, make a difference, have an effect, insert your energy into life and change something. Maybe this is a rare opportunity for you where you feel like something that you do is actually going to make a difference. And maybe that's why the Prince of Pentacles is like, doesn't matter, I'm just here, things are happening, and I don't really have much control over them. It doesn't matter what I really do, things are going a particular way. Spirit is saying now, no, if you put your hand into it, you have the chance to really shape it how you want to shape it, but you've got to be alert and active, you got to jump into it, and you have to assert yourself. This is that agency, this is that five-fingered hand, right, that's reaching out and is grabbing the material world and shaping it in a particular way. This is maybe a rare opportunity, a rare portal, where you can have an effect on the world. You can have an effect on your world. You can have a very positive effect on the direction that your life is taking right now. Okay? You may have been experiencing a little bit of a kind of a drop in voltage, a depletion or a lack of motivation. Well, we need to open up, because that message is coming in that's saying, hey, here's your shot. It's coming down the line. Let's wake up. Let's get ready. And that's hopefully acting as like a shot of espresso for you, to sort of to wake you up and get you eager and get you kind of like you're alert, you're at the edge, you're like, okay, it's coming any minute now, I'm ready to catch this opportunity. Okay. The Five of Swords in the future position is that expansion of mind. This is a change of mind. It's a change. It's a change of plans. It's a change of course. It's like we can either stay on continue on the course we're on, and I think you kind of know where you're going, and it's just kind of, it is what it is, right? Or you have the chance to really change course and see what else can be out there for you. Make a change. And of course, whenever there's a change, sometimes we just rather the universe does it to us. But the universe is telling you, look, if you want to change something, now's the time for you to do it. Okay? And maybe this feels like a really scary step. We've gotten used to just doing what we're doing, knowing where we're going, and we've maybe resigned. Maybe you've resigned yourself to think like, this is better than nothing. This is better than uncertainty. Okay? But I feel like you're ready for the next chapter. You're ready to do something different. You're ready to believe that there's something different out there for you. And I think that where you're headed now looks like that Seven of Pentacles. It looks like a dead end. And maybe you've resigned yourself to that and you've kind of said, yeah, I'm headed towards a dead end, and I guess there's nothing I can do about it. Spirit's saying, no, you can change that course right now. You don't have to get to this dead end. I think Spirit maybe is giving you that awareness that's allowing you to see into the future to think, oh, this track ends in a dead end. I better get off this track. I better prepare to make a move before too long because this is a roadblock. Okay, it's not very often that Spirit will show you the roadblocks. But for you to see this up ahead, I think is it's something very important to be aware of. We don't want to get that memo, but then not listen to it. It's like you got the text message or the voicemail or the email, but we just haven't looked at our phone yet to see it. And we're going to run right into that roadblock. Maybe you already see it, but you're trying to ignore it. Okay. Maybe you know that this is the direction your life is heading, and you're just saying, well, it is what it is, yeah. Nothing I can do about it. Well, there is something you can do about it. You can change course. You can reach out into life, and you can change the course of events. Okay. You can clear your path now. That's what Spirit is saying. Spirit wants you to know that. Now is the opportunity for you to clear your path and steer clear of that obstacle. Steer clear of that roadblock. Okay. My iPhone keeps hearing me talk about a roadblock, thinks I'm navigating, apparently. Siri is trying to help me. Anyway, let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. The Six of Cups is your general energy. And this is love. This is harmony. This is pleasure. Yeah. And this is community. This is family. I wonder if this is what you really want. Yeah. This is a win, right? And this is, when we talk about a five, I've been saying this lately about the fives. The fives are always like a roll of dice. I'm not advocating gambling or anything. I don't gamble. But the fives are like things are in motion. The fives are like, we're taking a risk. You're making changes. You're doing something different. That's the fives, right? Rolling the dice, trying something new, trying something different, thinking outside the box, sticking your hand into something and stirring it up just to see what happens. What you're hoping for is a 6. The risk is that sometimes you get a 7. When you roll the dice, you're either gonna get what you want or not. The dice are either gonna land. I don't know what do you need in crap. Maybe you need the 7 in craps, huh? I don't know. The dice are either going to land the way you want them to, or they're not. This is that uncertainty. This is like, I don't know, things are up in the air. You're rolling the dice, you're taking a chance, you're stirring the pot, you're mixing things up, you're changing course, you're thinking differently, you're changing things, changing your mind, changing your intention, changing your behavior. You don't know how it's going to land. I think Spirit is saying that if you don't change anything, the dice are going to land not in your favor. If you change things now, you got a shot of them landing on a 6. And 6, in my game of craps, the 6 is what you want. The 7 is what you don't want. I just made up my own game here. When you're rolling the dice, you want the 6. You don't want the 7. You don't want the failure. You want the pleasure of success. You want the reward system, right? You want that 6 of cups. There. That's how I want the camera. This is pleasure. This is community, this is love, this is harmony, this is a flow state. This is like it's you and me, Spirit. We're co-creating the universe. You're co-creating your destiny here. Everything's in harmony. Everything is beautiful and it feels good. You are illuminated and you are luminous. Okay? And it feels good. Life feels good. Spirit's telling you to make time for fun and friendship. Plan a night out, do the book club, laugh, focus on your people. Okay? Maybe that's part of this course correction. Yeah. I feel like you're taking a chance, making some changes. They're going to work out in your favor. We see the Two of Pentacles in the environment. That's a card of change. This is the card of like being proactive, not just waiting to waiting to see kind of where the river takes you, but realizing that you have a paddle and a rudder and an engine on your boat, and you can steer your boat. You're being proactive. Okay, it's like you're kind of, maybe you felt like you've been up the creek without a paddle. Spirit's giving you a paddle and saying, here, just do something else. Okay? And that's the Two of Pentacles, that you are saying, okay, let's do something else. Yeah, let's do something else. Don't ignore the warning signs. Okay? Spirit's saying that there's this maybe the Eight of Swords is kind of like pretending everything's fine when it's not. You know, pretending that you don't know how your current path is going to end, rather than making a decision. Okay? I think that you got to look at your display. You got to look at your dashboard, you know? And you've got to see like what your energetic indicators are telling you. You got to look at you got to look at the GPS and see where the road, it's like your GPS has been flashing, oh, road closed ahead, road closed ahead. You're not paying attention. So this is that card of being proactive and taking the right maneuvers to nudge the river, you know, to avoid the calamity and get, well, the Three of Cups is the fear, worry, concern. Because this is the wish, and we're worried that the wish won't be fulfilled. And so essentially it's saying you're rolling the dice, but you're scared that the dice are not going to come up in your favor. Maybe you're taking a chance on something emotional, right? Let's say a Three of Cups is you with this love inside of you. And the Six of Cups is like you're connecting that with something out there. And so together you get that Six of Cups. But by you taking a risk, making a change, changing course, it's like you're putting your heart out there. But it's a risk that you're not going to find that other match. And it's not going to lead to that harmony and that togetherness and that love or that community or that pleasure. That what your intent, what your wish is not going to connect with what it needs to connect with, and you're going to get that failure anyway. So it's kind of like Spirit is showing you that the current trajectory is going to lead to a dead end. The alternative is that you change course, do something different, stir the pot, shake things up, roll the dice, and maybe things will be better. It's kind of like there's a guarantee roadblock, or there's a possibility of finding the right connection. And then the offer on the table, what do you choose? Do you choose to stay the course because it's easier, at least it's predictable, at least I know what I'm getting at the end of it? Or do you take a chance, take a risk on a maybe? On taking a risk. So that's like making the wish. That's like putting yourself out there. That's like applying for the job and crossing your fingers. Telling somebody how you feel about them and then hoping they feel the same. You're broadcasting your wish. You know, you're putting yourself out there. You're making the changes. You're doing the difficult, challenging thing to nudge the river in the way you want it to go. But you don't know how everything else in the world is going to respond to you. Because remember, the universe is mostly things that are happening outside of your control and the very little bit of things that you actually can affect. Okay? And Spirit's telling you right now, find those things that you can control and do them. And the rest is just up to chance, right? When you roll the dice, you try to do it the very best way that you can. Everybody thinks they've got it figured out how to do it, right? You got to hold them a certain way. You got to shake them a certain way. You got to blow on them. You got to have your friend kiss them or something. And then you roll them with a certain technique. It's like bowling, right? Maybe this is spiritual bowling instead of craps. But once it leaves your hand, the dice, the bowling ball, the baseball, the basketball, whatever it is, once it leaves your hand, it's up to chance. Fate, destiny, the unfolding of the universe is up to divine timing. If everything in the universe is perfectly aligned, hole in one, 3-point, swish, nothing but net, or you're going to get that, you're going to roll that 6 in the dice. Because in my game of craps, you need a 6, not a 7. Yeah. So we're waiting for that perfect alignment, and then we roll. Spirit's telling you that time is now. This is a rare energy portal. You can roll the dice now, and I think it's going to work out. Let's look at our mystery card. I want this to be a positive roll of the dice. Let's make it a 6 of Pentacles, yeah? Or a 6 of Swords, or a 6 of Wands, I guess. But I think another 6 would be good, don't you? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. It's a 4 of Pentacles. This is you not wanting to roll the dice. This is somebody that has the dice and is like, I don't think I want to do it. You know, clinging to what is safe and comfortable, clinging to what we know. Anytime we get a 4, right, we start looking for the 5. Anytime we get 5s, we start thinking, well, maybe we just want a 4. This is you not wanting to take a chance, not wanting to part with the familiarity, not wanting to get off the track you're on, even though you know where it's going. Not wanting to do anything different, not wanting to change. Okay, we have to wonder why. Why don't we want to change right now? Maybe because we're afraid that it's going to get worse. Or maybe you're afraid that if you change, you're not going to get anything better. Okay? You're supported right now in unexpected ways. You need to trust that. Things are aligning right for you where you can make a change and it will be better than the track you're on now. We've got to be willing to kind of open up our heart and trust that a little bit and not cling to the path we're on, even though we kind of see where it's going, okay? Now, where we're going is into the extended reading. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram, we'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner, there's a link down below, new readings for Pisces on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, leave a comment, and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.